Today I want to talk to you about overcoming the odds. As we go through life, we are faced with challenges, situations, events that occur on our jobs, in our daily life, in our family life, our marital relationships. All of us at some point in time in our life will have some odds that we have to overcome. Well, I've come today to encourage you, don't throw in the towel, because you have the power within you to overcome the odds. One of my favorite biblical characters who express how to overcome odds is a young man by the name of David. We all know David's story. He's famously known for taking down the giant. But in that particular episode of David's life, David teaches us some things about overcoming the odds. And so here's some principles that I take from David's life when it comes to overcoming odds. You see, there was a challenge that had been put out there by this giant, Goliath. The challenge was that anyone comes down here and takes me out would be the winner of the battle. The Bible says for 40 days, Goliath came down into the valley and issued the same challenge. And day after day, no one stepped up to the plate. But David comes on the scene and David says, I'll step up to the plate. You see, if you want to overcome the odds, you have to be an individual who is willing to step up to the challenges that other people are afraid to step up to. And so, secondly, what we see in David's life is that David did not allow his critics to keep him from accepting the challenge. You see, if you're going to overcome the odds, you cannot allow other people to minimize who you are. David knew who he was. And because David knew who he was, he did not allow what other people were saying. His own brothers were saying, you can't do this. Even the king told him, you are inexperienced. They were literally trying to minimize David. And so that's a word for you, and that's a word for me. If we are going to overcome the odds, we cannot allow other people to minimize who we are and who God has called us to be. So when it comes to not allowing people to minimize who you are, let me put it like this. You simply have to ignore your haters. Yeah, haters are out there. They come in all different shapes, sizes, skin tones. Your haters are out there. But if you want to overcome the odds, you have to be a person who has the strength in themselves to ignore your haters. David was comfortable in who he was. And so if you're going to overcome the odds, you have to be comfortable in your own skin. You have to work with what works for you. Don't try to be someone else. Because when you try to be someone else, you are doing nothing but becoming a cheap copy of a unique original. Use your own sling and use your own rock and watch your giants fall. See you next time.